My biggest fear is reactions. That's my biggest fear. If men got hair, they're good looking. If you're bald, you're ugly. All of this is just powder. All of this is just powder. I'm guilty of just constantly whacking on the hair fibres. Use it
Yeah.
every morning, wash it out, use it, and it's costing me a fortune now. I probably spent a good £2,000-3,000 on it, and it's if I did go on a date, I'd probably think about it more because I'm that nervous.
How's it going, everyone? And welcome to Baldcafe. This is going to be volume 6 of our Baldcafe live series. We've got Nick joining us. Nick is here. How's it going, man?
It's going all right. Going good.
It's been a long time coming for you, this moment. I'd love to hear all about it, you know, when this all started for you. And let's start there.
Okay, I started really going bald when I was 19, 20. So at first, it's like with everyone, you're kind of like, you don't notice it. And when a few of my mates pulled out saying, "Oh, you've got a little bald spot at the back of your head," I was like, "Oh, just be quiet, that's my crown." And I was kind of just like laughing off for a few years, but eventually it just progressed into like, you could just see it started like receding at the back. For whatever reason, it just started at the top here. I'm guilty of just constantly whacking on the hair fibres because I can remember, I think it was about 3 years ago, I thought to myself, I'll get a short haircut. And I didn't realize how shocking it was. And because my legs were just sweating, because you get that like, oh God, what have I just done? And I can remember just like whacking on the powder kind of thing, like everywhere, even with hair. It's like, have I got it on? Have I got it on? Is it going to look good? Are people going to notice? What's kind of made me take that plunge is I've just been watching a lot of your videos, and I just see people who are younger than me, who are in their 20s, 21, 22. I'm just turned 26, and I'm thinking if they can do it, I can do it, kind of thing. And it's kind of one of those things where someone else, I mean, I saw someone before, he hasn't got any arms, and yet he's got a full head of hair. And I know with a split second, he would just give his hair up like that if he could have both his arms, kind of thing. And I'm kind of, the way I'm looking at it now is I'm grateful for what I've got, not what I've had, kind of thing. So I've still got my health, I've still got my arms and legs, I've still got my friends and my family and all that. But again, it's kind of like what I have, not what I've had. And that's where a lot of people are going wrong, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I see, you're putting out a lot of, you've been in the gym, right? I see you're working out, you're doing these positive things. And I think that also makes a big difference. I mean, we can touch on that in a minute, but the thing that you said there is completely right. You've got to focus on what you do have and what you like have control over, rather than what you don't have or can't have, because we can't have it all, right? We can't have it all. No one can. And, let's be honest, I've said it before, but if losing your hair is like the worst thing that you've got going on, really, like, we got to consider ourselves lucky when we really think about it. And I know, like, when it first hits, and those first moments, those first months when your hair's falling out, if anyone says that, it's like, shut up, like, you don't know what it's like. It's literally the worst thing.
Oh mate, don't get me started on that. My brother, much as I love him, he will just go, "I'll just shave it off, shave it off." I'm like, look, be quiet. I'll do it in my own time, kind of thing. Because I'm like, both sides of my family have gone bald, so I know it's going to happen, but it's always going to be a question of when is it going to happen, kind of thing. But I'm decided to take it further now. Even now, all of this is just powder. All of this is just powder.
Really? Tell me about this powder stuff, this hair fibers. When was the first time you started using those?
Properly, I started using it about 3 years ago. So it was, since I had that really, really, really short haircut, I was so conscious of what people thought. And I think a lot of it is with society now, a lot of it is like, if men got hair, they're good looking. If you're bald, you're ugly, kind of thing. But yeah, I can remember reading one of your stories. I can't remember this guy's name. He's giving you a lot of grief, kind of thing, and you kind of just completely proved him wrong. If you called The Rock bald, he'll probably just laugh it off and just go, "Yeah."
And not even mention those guys, but you only have to look at like the people I featured on this channel, or the people that are on the Instagram. Just regular people. like all good-looking people. You know, it's this strange reality that people have, and just like you said, society putting so much emphasis on something like hair. You know, that makes such a big difference, and it's just not a healthy mind frame to be in.
Mm.
The hair fiber thing, right, started about 3 years ago, and is it like a daily
Yeah,
you
daily
use it
thing.
every
Use it
yeah.
every morning, wash it out, use it, and it's costing me a fortune now. And I'm kind of thinking, oh my bloody god, I'm just out of curiosity, just seeing how much I spent, and I've probably spent a good £2,000-3,000 on it, and it's absolutely, it's mine. It's just,
Yeah. And
you don't think of it, but when you actually look at it in the long run, it's like, oh my god, really?
what about when you put them in like sort of every day, and during the day, is it still on your mind? Like, are you still like fussing about how it looks, and like, do you ever have to like reapply it and things like that, or once it's on,
Uh,
it's on?
it's once it's on, it's on. I don't really style it out because when I was younger, I'll see if I can find a photo for you. You can put it on the video if you like. I used to have hair like just coming out like an afro. I didn't really style it. I just let it grow. And I'm so used to just putting it on and just letting it do what it wants, kind of
Yeah,
thing. And
yeah,
so I wasn't too worried, but I kind of just knew at the back of my mind it's on. And I think some people knew it's on. If it rained, I'm bloody buggered because you're just gonna have like
yeah.
patches everywhere. Patches
Right. Yeah,
everywhere.
that's what I mean. Like, we've had guys talk about before that with the hair fibers, it's like it's not like just a thing where you put it on and you can forget all about it and it's no worries. It's the sort of thing that's almost makes you think about it more in case it's windy or rainy or something like that, or you're sweating in the gym. Is that what it's like?
Oh, sweating in the gym. Yeah. Well, I should know that because it just what happens is it just goes darker and it looks even worse. And I'm kind of just thinking, oh, right, that's me done. Going home.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. You posted a picture before, and I think you'd said to one of your friends like, "No, yeah, I think I'm gonna shave it." So I think you've had this in your mind for a while,
yeah,
right? But I saw
yeah.
on that post you went there and bottled it. You saw,
I did.
you
I absolutely
yeah,
bottled
yeah.
it, and I
Talk
think
to me about
I was gonna do it, but the thing was, I got in there, and I think I just let my nerves get the better of me. I was like, no, I can't do it yet. Not doing it yet, and I felt kind of embarrassed, but I did know there's no fear in saying you've lost. There's no fear in that. So yeah,
that.
I can happily say I've bottled it. I let the nerves get the better of me. So
Yeah. Thing is though, it's all part of the process. You have to. There's never like a wrong time to do it. I think there's, how whatever gets you to that point of taking this step of just accepting it and shaving it off is the right moment for everyone. Because you need moments like that to push you into that action.
yeah,
If you need to go in there and kind of feel like, oh, afterwards when you reflect on it and think like, oh, I probably should have done it, but there was something stopping me.
yeah,
You need to take the time and sort of think about it. Well, why couldn't I go through with it? What is stopping me? And
yeah,
it's like when you reflect on those things, that builds you up, gives you the courage to actually say, no, like I'm not doing that again. We got to go for it this time.
my biggest fear is reactions. That's my biggest fear because I'm single as well, and my fear is if I go out bald on a night out bald, I'm worried I'm going to be looked as, oh god, he's ugly kind of thing. That's my
Yeah, yeah,
biggest fear, and that's why I think I
yeah.
still do all that powder, and that's maybe part of the reason why I bottled it.
What's it been like, on nights out and stuff like that, and meeting people whilst like balding effectively, whilst going through this hair loss? Is it something you think about when you're in those experiences? I don't know if you've got, if you've been on the dating scene or like you said, on nights out, meeting people, meeting girls, whatever, meeting whoever. Is it something that you think about, the hair loss?
Occasionally, but when I first started going bald, it did creep up every so often, and I just looked quiet, kind of thing, when I went out, kind of thing.
Right.
If I did go on a date, I'd probably think about it more because I'm that nervous. So it would
Yeah.
be kind of like it just looked like I wouldn't be interested, kind of thing. So that's why I stumbled across your channel, and I kind of found the confidence to actually make that first step. Because if you weren't around, I probably would just keep doing what I'm doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it can't go on forever, you know,
No.
because it only gets worse, right? You only prolong it, and those
it is
all that
getting worse because I'm losing my hair. I've lost more hair. I'm spending more money, and I'm having to be more cautious. I'm worrying more about it. I mean, it's like with a hair transplant. If I was in hair transplant, it's a remedy for a time, but it's not the solution or the answer. If you want to get a hair transplant, then go for it. It's your life at the end of the day, your money. But it's a 50-50 thing. But you won't catch me doing it.
No, you're right about that. It is a solution for an unknown amount of time, and it doesn't. You know, if you can't be confident like in yourself, who you are, and stuff like that, getting the hair transplant is not going to solve those issues. You know, it seems like, you know, setting, like we talk about, setting goals and trying to achieve actual like meaningful things that are going to make you feel good about yourself and things like that, rather than just the way you look, you know. And if we take even going to the gym, for example, you know, it's not the body in a sense that gives you that confidence, because, you know, you hear about people who are, you know, body of a god, right? But they have things like body dysmorphia, and they see themselves and they're like, oh, I'm too small, and oh, I'm fat. You know, that's not the part that gives you the confidence. It's like the routine of it, the discipline, you know, the like, okay, this week I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, and you do it, and when you achieve it, you show yourself that you've got the ability, and, you know, those are the things that really give you the confidence. Not, you know, you can't buy it with a hair transplant or something like that. And it's doing, you know, what you're going to do, having the courage to just like go for it is, honestly, I say it time and time again, but it's so true. That's the first big step to like show yourself, like, God, like,
Yeah.
I'm capable of so much more than I was giving myself credit for, you know. And that's the first step. The next step, and you just build on it, and after weeks, months, years of that, you literally never ever worry about some damn hair on your head ever again. You mentioned there your worries, right? Reactions. So is that the biggest thing that you think, the reason why you've been putting this off?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is because I'm just worried about. I can handle banter, which is absolutely fine, but I think it's like reactions going, "Oh God, he looks awful," kind of thing. That's my biggest fear, and I've just been whacking on the powder ever since, kind of thing. I can remember I can remember someone like saying, "You put that stuff on," and I was like, "What stuff?" And I just had sort of just poking at it. It just felt all crusty, and I was like, "Oh bloody hell, don't do that." So
Oh,
I just
really?
felt like I had a massive like fingerprint at the back of my head, kind of thing.
Yeah. So you were out somewhere and someone had spotted the hair fibres, had they?
Yeah, and just went, "You put stuff in, haven't you?" I was like, "No," and they just poked it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
"Really?" Like, oh, God, I've just done that. It took me what 15 minutes.
The fear of that has surely got to be worse than the fear of having a shaved head, no?
I'm not sure because I never really gave bald a proper think about it before. I was only concerned about my appearance and
Yeah.
how I looked, kind of thing. I didn't think how I'd look bald. That's never crossed my mind.
Until now, I guess.
Yeah, only because I
Yeah.
knew I've got to suck it up.
Especially when it's normal, you know, it happens to so many guys. But I mean, we always think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. You know, even with family members, when you're younger and stuff, you never really think like, oh yeah, I'm going to be bald when I'm older. That'll be all right. Never. You know, you kind of hope that you're going to be the one that it skips the gen. You heard that one before, it's right.
Yeah.
It skips a generation, and you sort of get the family tree out, and you're like, oh, he was bald, he wasn't, he was bald. Oh, it's gonna skip me, hopefully.
I can remember like probably noticing it. I was like, I took it bad, and I mean, I got quite hostile when anyone joked about it around me, I couldn't take it as a laugh. I just saw it as an insult thing. But now I can't just go like, oh, whatever, kind of thing. I heard it all before, and but it's kind of similar to one of the videos you uploaded when you lost all your hair, kind of thing. Because it's fine for someone to say, "Oh, just shave it off," You try going for it first, and then you see what it's like.
What are some of the things recently that have helped you get to the point where you've decided I'm going to shave it off?
I've realised I'm not alone, and I've realised there's people out there like me, my age, or younger or older, who's gone through this, who is going through this, and I'm not alone, kind of thing. And also don't feel like a bit of a freak in a way, because that's how I initially felt when I started going bald.
Yeah.
Like there's something wrong with me, kind of thing. And I felt like a freak of nature because I was balding when I was 20, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So again, like watching all these people taking the plunge and like enjoying it, moving on with their lives without the hair, embracing the fact that they're bald, and finding new features about themselves. So I think it was the first video I ever watched of yours. I was actually, I was just watching it. I typed it in like rocking the bald look kind of thing, and one of your videos came, and I thought, I'll just watch it. I didn't really think much of it, but I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of was like, oh, okay. So I watched another one, and it kind of just your channel kind of just grew on me, kind of thing.
I know what my experience was and what worked for me, and literally I just share that. I literally just share it, my story, and like you did, people can relate to it. And now it's grown. Of course, it's grown beyond me, which is so like amazing, really. And it's exactly what it needs, right? It started off with me, and it's grown beyond me now, and it's just a space where people are like, yeah, fuck this. Like, why should I be feeling shit about this? Really, based on what other people think and me worrying about what other people think. Because when you take all the little bits away from it, that's what it all comes down to. It literally comes down to that one thing of really worrying what other people are going to think. All of the side bits just come down to that. Whether it's, oh, I'm worried I'm not going to be able to get a job. People do say, well, that's because they're worrying like, oh, the employer's going to think I'm weird because I've got a bald head at 25 or whatever. Or like you said, when you get out on the dating scene, people are going to think I'm ugly. All of those things literally based on worrying about what other people think. But male pattern baldness is such a common thing to happen to men, literally starting in like late teens all the way along. There's a whole spectrum, but just guys, because men are men, don't talk about it. And the people who are in the public eye, they hide away from it as well. They don't talk about it. So like you said, it makes people like us feel like there's something wrong with us or whatever, when there isn't. So this conversation that we're having, all the conversations we've had on the channel need to be had, and it's such a powerful thing. And as you're going to do yourself, now we've got people started off with Adam going that extra step of actually sharing the exact moment. And it couldn't get any better than that, really, for inspiring people. And, some of the other guys who have been on and done it say it's such a cathartic thing to do. Being able to share that journey and then pass it on, knowing that it's going to help someone else, is like such a great way to sort of cap off the sort of shit time you've had with hair loss, but you put a nice little top on it and chuck it away, and you go on to do so much better things. So I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for you.
I'm very excited for opportunity, what will open for me, kind of thing. It'll show that with a bald head, it's just like I don't give a toss what you think anymore, kind of thing. I'm rocking it. It's my look. It's my image. If you don't like it, just take your negativity away. I don't need it. I'm probably going to just start doing other things. Like I might go skydiving, kind of thing. Because if I can do this, what can't I do, kind of thing. Exactly. Just jump out of a plane. Might just do a sup Instagram, just falling out of a plane. Just
yeah. You should.
But I knew I had to tackle this first. I mean, there's no point in me doing all of this great stuff. But yeah, if I'm too frightened to pick up a razor, kind of thing. So just look a bit silly.
Take this first step first. But no, listen, man, best of luck with it. And we'll see you on the other side.
Okay. This is going to be the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Let's do it. Hold on. I'm going back now. I'm going back now. Right. Right. We'll get there. Let's see if it's done now. So, oh my God, I'm sweating. There we go. Done it. Done it.